Hey guys, what's going on? I'm on a walk today again with Luna at the park, and I wish I brought my stabilizer with me because she won't sit still, and the whole plan was to sit with her and shoot a cool video. Okay, fine, it's not that cool, but I just wanted to kind of rant about some stuff. It would be easier if I could just sit down and talk, but Luna's really excited about sniffing all the geese poop and whatever else we come across. So I'm gonna wear her out a little bit and then I'll be back to shoot some more video. It's so funny because normally when she sees other animals, she goes nuts to go chasing them. But there's all these geese here and she's not even really that concerned about them. I think you can see them all right over there. Sorry for the shaky video. I don't have my stabilizer with me today. Check it out. It's supposed to be a beautiful day out today, but looks like it's kind of cloudy. It's probably gonna get better throughout the day though. Usually what happens is when the sun starts coming out, all those clouds just disappear. Trying to find a good place to sit, and all there is geese poop everywhere. It's very, very difficult to find a seat. That's the only thing I hate about having them around, is that they're just everywhere. Luna doesn't care though. She's just gonna sit her butt down wherever she pleases. Right, Luna? She's too busy staring at the dogs that are all the way over there. Right, Luna? You gonna stare at the dogs and watch them? Cool. I finally got her to relax and sit down with me, so now she's just here. See, I like filming in this spot because it's so open and no one really walks by this area. So I can film without worrying about capturing people who don't want to be on camera. Anyway, about this rant I keep talking about. So I figured that now would be a better time, if any, to speak about this because I've been wanting to talk about it for years, but I was always so afraid of pissing off the wrong person and losing jobs over it or anything like that, because you know how the internet works. When people look you up and they find out things about you that they don't like, it can cause problems for people, right? So first things first, I'm at a position now where I don't have to worry about that so much anymore, and that's awesome. I've been working my whole life to get to this point, and I may not be a millionaire or I may not have a ton of money, but I have enough to not take shit from anyone anymore. I know that because I have piercings and tattoos and all that stuff, people are gonna treat me differently. Wait, let me back up a second. I've seen that there are so many of you who have been subscribing to the channel, and that's awesome. I wanna welcome all you guys and say thank you for being a part of the channel. I do have a lot of really cool plans, videos that I want to make, but again, there are things that really hold me back from doing that, and it sucks because I feel like I should be able to be fully creative and open and do what I want to do without having all these limitations and people who put things in place to stop me from doing that. For so many years, I took shit from a lot of people because I needed the money, I needed the experience, and I needed to get myself into a better position financially before I can really say, you know, before I can really tell people to stop treating me like shit. And I've busted at working for people and doing jobs that I didn't really want to do just for the sheer fact that I needed the money to pay my bills. And I bet that 99% of the people watching my channel go through the same struggles every day, where you just take shit from people just because you know you have to in order to survive. And that's cool to a certain extent, right? I mean, it's not fair that just because somebody's paying you that they should be able to treat you poorly. I've kind of taken a stance into saying, fuck that, I'm done. I'm done dealing with people who treat me like shit, who treat Melissa like shit, just because they think that because they're giving us money that's okay. It's not okay. Like, I don't care who you are or what business you own or how much money you have. It's not okay to treat people like shit and talk down to people when you can simply get a lot further by being nice. For those of you who don't know, I've done web work since I was about 13 years old. It's when I started learning how to program. I got my first computer, and Luna, don't chew on your leash. I know you want to get going. You're getting antsy. I know. You're going to give me paw? in the meantime. Sit with me. Anyway, I've been doing web work since I was about 13 years old. I've done PHP programming. I know HTML like the back of my hand. I know how to mess with databases and configure them and set them up. I know all that fancy tech stuff. I'm not going to get too technical because I know half of you will probably not even understand what the hell I'm saying. So I just turned 34 on September 7th, and I feel like, you know, even though sometimes I still act like a teenager, I'm not. So I don't want to be treated like one. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, then take off the stupid piercings and stop wearing the makeup and stop doing this and stop doing that. No, how about I don't? I do whatever the f I want to do. I'm going to dress how I want to dress. I've done it since I was a teenager. I've had parents, friends, teachers, all sorts of people telling me I shouldn't dress the way I want to dress. And to those of you guys out there who are a little different and get a little weird sometimes, mad props to you, you know, for sticking up for what you believe in, doing what makes you happy, dressing the way you feel comfortable. I've tried. My mom has tried to buy me clothes that is not, I guess you would call goth or emo, as some of you call it these days. But I just don't feel comfortable wearing that kind of stuff. It doesn't feel like me. So that shouldn't really be a problem. Now, let me go back to this whole thing about being treated like shit. The jobs that I've worked for have all been people who were okay with the way I dress and the way I look to a certain extent. For example, I worked for a company where I shot a video for them, which still to this day has the most views on their channel out of all videos that has been shot on their channels. And trust me, they have more professional looking videos on their channel than the ones I made. And the guy who was editing those videos did an amazing job. But mine still has the most because it had quality content that people needed to know about. And the one problem with that video was that my arms were in the video, which means my tattoos were showing. And eventually it got to a point where they wanted me to stop doing videos or actually being on camera. They didn't mind if I still did the videos, they just didn't want me to be on camera anymore because they thought that my piercings or tattoos would, I guess, shoo some people away. When the reality is, it's 2016. Come on, people have piercings and tattoos, just can get over it. When I moved, I saw a storm coming. I knew that things were gonna go down probably pretty quick. So I started planning for my future basically and doing things and putting things in place to make sure that if anything went south, I wouldn't be homeless or in a position where I'm screwed and I can't pay my bills. In order for me to do that, I did have to take a big hit financially. And eventually that day came and I got let go, and it was very shortly after I moved, which by the way, the move was for this business and I loved them. I loved working for them for a long time. I was there for about 5 to 6 years. The people who were put in charge were not doing positive things for the business, and I just couldn't take it anymore because I saw this baby grow. When I started working for them, they were making like $10,000 to $30,000 a month, and then now they're making, sometimes now they make about $1 million a month. And I had a big part in helping that company grow. I'm obviously not the reason for it, but I had a big part of it because I was the guy doing all the web stuff, and they are mainly a web company. So even though there were a lot of other people involved too to help out with the process, I was still the main guy for about 5 years, which, you know, goes to show that at least I must have been doing something right because the company is doing well. So yeah, it's definitely a team-based effort. I get that. Man, I'm just rambling. So my whole point is I've gotten to this place where I don't have to take this crap from people anymore and be treated poorly for any reason. I don't think that you guys should either. Look, I know how many of you guys are struggling out there with jobs that you hate, people who treat you like crap, and I don't think that we should take it anymore. I mean, I don't think that you guys should go out there and go to your boss and be like, "Phew, dude, stop treating me like shit," because that's just gonna get you fired and then you're really not gonna have a job. But what I say is take the time, put things in place to make sure that if anything ever happens with those type of jobs, you have somewhere else to go, you have something else to do, or you have money backed up. Because I made this mistake for the longest time where I worked for other people, I did everything everybody else said, and I never did anything really for myself. The only thing I ever really did was 8 years ago, I started putting up videos on my YouTube channel in hopes that people would see it, and then eventually it would evolve into something else, which is what's happening now. And it's awesome. It's just such a great feeling to be able to wake up every day and know that I can be creative and do what I want to do and let Melissa do what she wants to do. I don't want you guys to go out there and get yourselves into trouble or anything and put yourself in a position that financially screws you over. But in reality, don't let people talk down to you. Don't let people do that. And if you do have to eat for a little while, just make sure you start putting some plans in place, something to back you guys up in case anything ever happens. And the day that you're able to do what you want to do and stop letting people treat you like shit, it's gonna feel awesome, I promise. It'll be totally worth it. You gonna lay down here with me and chill? So what happened was, when Melissa and I started seeing that this storm was about to take place, we decided to open up our own business, which most of you already know is the salon. When we moved, Melissa got hired as a manager to work for a beauty supply store chain who also had a salon in there. So she was managing the salon, which was awesome. She got a nice pay raise and everything. But ultimately, there were a lot of people who were older who did not want to take orders from someone as young as Melissa. So it created a problem for her, and eventually they let her go. And at the time, I still had my job and they were paying me really well. So it didn't really matter that she didn't have a job, but I knew that some shit was going down. So I figured, let's put some plans in place to make sure that we're not screwed over when this all goes down. So I talked her into opening up a salon, and we figured that we would mix both of our passions into it. So that way she can do her hair stuff and I could do my music stuff. And both of them together actually ended up being a great idea. People love it, and we're doing awesome now, which is so fucking great, because for the longest time I've wanted to be just creative and do my thing, and I couldn't do that just because I was too busy doing things for other people and not doing anything for myself. So everybody else was benefiting except for me, and I had to put a stop to that. I knew that my life wasn't gonna ever get any better until I did that. And the thing is, you know how people always say, oh, you're gonna wake up at 30 years old and you're gonna wonder what happened to your life and where it all went. It's true. You know, like being 34 now, I look back and go, damn, time went by fast. And if anything, time's going by even faster now. So we don't have a lot of time on this earth. We don't have a lot of time to chill here. So why not make the best of it? Why not do what makes us happy? And a lot of the reasons why we don't is usually financially driven. It's because we need to make money. We need to go to work every day. And then by the time you get home, you're too tired to do anything for yourself. So what I say is, if you can, take the time every day to just do something. If you're a creative person, do something creative at night before you go to bed, or when you get home, during dinner, whenever you find at least an hour or even less. You don't even need to spend that much time on it, but if you spend a little bit every day doing what you love and forcing that to become your career, it'll happen. It's just a matter of being positive and knowing that no matter what happens, you're gonna be okay. I've been through a lot of situations where I thought my life was over, and it's not. It's just emotions taking over at the moment because you're going through some stuff you don't know how to deal with. But eventually all that stuff gets taken care of. You'll be fine. Just be sure that you take the time to do what you love every day, even if it's just a little bit, because I promise you, if you want that to become your career, then you'll make it happen. Do whatever you can to move yourself forward, because I don't want anybody to ever be in the situation that I was in and get up every morning just so upset that you have to go to work that it just doesn't make you productive in a place like that. It's not worth it. It's not worth going through the stress every day, making yourself sick over it. I mean, I would wake up in the morning and just dread reading my emails. So to those of you who are in management positions and you treat your employees like shit, fuck you. To all the owners of the companies who feel like talking down to someone is gonna get things done, fuck you. Okay, fine, I know, I'm just another emo kid bitching about people being mean, but that's not the reality of it. I mean, my whole point is I just want to get across to people that you don't really have to take shit from everybody just because you feel like you're going to get fired otherwise. There are plenty of other jobs you can find out there where people are not going to treat you poorly. I've worked for many people who are very pleasant to work for, and honestly, those are the jobs that I've gotten ahead with the fastest and I've accomplished the most with. Were always the people who are happy to be working with me, and it's not worth the headache, it's not worth the money. No matter how much they're paying you, you can always find something else where you're gonna have more fun and be happier. Are you ready to go? You ready to end this and go home? All right, we're gonna do that, all right? We're gonna go home now. This is what they do, always. In the road, probably pooping on the road, because that's what they do. Move. See, this is the shit I'm talking about, man. I just get into work and here we go again. I was reading my emails as I do every morning, and even though this wasn't an email that came from an employer or anybody I've done work for, it's still an email that's upsetting. So it says here, let me read it off to you. While I was hiking at Blank Mountain this morning, my car window was shattered and my purse was stolen. The purse was completely out of view under the front seat. I guess they saw me pull in and put it there. Just a reminder to not leave anything valuable in your car. It's just really disappointing that this kind of thing happens so close to home. And yeah, it is. It's really disappointing. See, and the fucked up part is this is a mountain that Mel and I go hiking on all the time. And there have been times where I didn't feel like bringing my book bag on the hike and I would leave it in the car and I would just take my camera with me. And the whole time I'm out hiking, I'm always worrying about whether or not somebody's gonna break into our car and steal our stuff. And it's just disappointing to have to worry about that. I mean, even if you lock your stuff in the trunk or anything like that, people can still get in. If they just break the window, all they gotta do is, and the trunk opens. So how are you supposed to, I mean, I guess it's like, don't leave anything valuable in the car. Okay, well, I try not to do that, but how about just don't fucking steal from people? I genuinely feel like if these people were doing something that they loved and were being successful at it and taking the time to do things that make them happy, this wouldn't be such an issue. Why do you need to go in and steal somebody's purse? Probably because you want money, right? You want something that's valuable out of the purse so that you can go either sell it or you can steal their money or their credit cards to go use. I don't know what the solution to this is. I would ask you guys, maybe leave a comment, maybe leave your thoughts in the comment section below and let me know what you think. What do you think would be your solution to stopping these kind of problems where people are treating each other poorly? How do we make these situations better for people? I don't know. I think a good start would be stop being so shit to other people. Be positive. Do what makes you happy. Because when you're happy, you don't feel the need to treat others like shit. So, I don't know. I'm gonna end this rant here. Thanks for listening. If you want to watch other cute videos that have nothing to do with these bullshit emo rants, then go ahead and watch one of my other videos here.